Well, it's official. The U.S. is pulling the plug on the penny. After more than 230 years jingling around in pockets, gum machines, and couch cushions, the humble 1-cent coin is getting the axe. And honestly, it's about time. According to the Treasury Department, it costs 3.69 cents to make just one dece penny. That's like paying $4 to manufacture a $1 bill. It's backwards, wasteful, and kind of hilarious if it weren't taxpayers footing the bill. The Trump administration gave the final push. In February, Trump told Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent to stop the presses, literally, and end the pennies run. The math was simple. Stopping production will save the government about $56 million a year. That's not just change in the couch cushions, that's real money. So the last shipment of penny blanks has been ordered, and once that runs out, that's it. No more new pennies. Here's the big question now. What happens when cash transactions no longer have a coin to make up that 1 cent difference? Will we all just round up and get quietly scammed? Actually, no, it's a bit more balanced than that. Other countries have already walked this road. Canada scrapped their penny back in 2012 and just started rounding to the nearest 5 cents for cash purchases. If your total is $1.02, you pay $1. If it's $1.03, you round up to $1.05. Simple, fair, and kind of elegant in practice. And here's something most folks don't realize. This rounding only applies to cash. If you're using a card or paying online, the amount is still calculated down to the last cent. It's not like we're going full Wild West here. Plus, most computerized systems can handle this no problem. Some shops are already rounding by default just to avoid digging through change trays. Still, there's bound to be some creative pricing. Don't be surprised if stores subtly start listing everything at $4.98 just to get that roundup. You know how it is. Never let a crisis go to waste, especially when there's a marketing team involved. Here's the thing about pennies. We don't really use them anymore, but we still kind of love them. There's nostalgia baked into that little copper coin. We hoard them in jars, leave them in tip trays, toss them in fountains. Some people even believe they bring good luck. Heads up only, of course. So getting rid of the penny isn't just a financial decision, it's weirdly emotional. But the reality is they're more symbolic than practical now. Cash is fading, digital payments are taking over, and honestly, how many times have you walked away from a register with a handful of pennies and just tossed them in your car's cup holder? Or worse, straight into the trash? That's not a functioning part of the economy. That's clutter. And let's not forget charity drives. In Canada, when they phased out the penny, they turned it into a national fundraiser. People emptied their jars and donated millions. That's a feel-good send-off. Maybe the U.S. can do something similar instead of just shrugging and letting pennies vanish quietly. Give the coin a proper farewell. So what happens after the penny's gone? Will inflation skyrocket? Will cash-only businesses collapse under the weight of uneven totals? Not likely. Rounding up and down balances out over time. And studies from places like New Zealand and Australia, who ditched their lowest coins years ago, showed no major effect on prices. If anything, this might spark smarter conversations about how we design our money. Nickels actually cost even more to make than pennies. Dimes are barely used. And quarters? They've practically become the new standard. Some small business owners are already pricing everything in 25-cent increments just to keep it simple. One thing's for sure, this isn't just about metal and minting, it's about shifting how we think about value, efficiency, and tradition. The penny was a relic from a slower, cash-heavy economy. Now, as digital payments take over and costs keep rising, it's becoming clear there's not much room left for sentimentality in your wallet. So maybe it's not just goodbye to a coin. Maybe it's the first real nudge toward rethinking how money fits into modern life.